Yes, Lord, that is your boys. This is your boy Big Q. This is TeamBoydTV Live. I'm joined as always by my homies. Glass, Get With It Sports, the Sage of Sports. What's good, homie? What's good?
What up, fam? What up, JB? What up to all the Twitter hustlers out there? Glad y'all back to the show.
Right.
Do this.
What a wild weekend. And I'm going to tell you, fresh out of Twitter jail is your boy Raven Shogun, JB. What's up, Raven Shogun? What's good with you, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Glass? What's up, YouTube?
Hey, so look,
nothing to it, man.
Let's get a little house cleaning done real quick. There's a couple things I wanna address. There's a couple elephants in the room that I feel like we need to get to real quick. First and foremost, I want y'all to give a round of applause to your boy, Big Q. Perfect week. Moved up to number 3 or something like that on the Pick 'em and Shut Up League. Crushing everybody, including these two. And Lauren, and Vernie, and everybody. Come get some.
Okay.
Come get
cleaning the house, bro. Right?
Come get some. Do some house cleaning, yes.
All right, here we go. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Big Q.
Yeah.
My bro right here.
Mm-hmm.
Won week 7.
Yeah.
Week 8. And in week 8, he had a perfect week.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1.
Yeah.
I want to know what medication you on.
Hey, look.
For PED. Number 2.
Yeah.
We got 3 people.
Yeah.
That had a perfect week in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to AA Sports Uncle Hate.
Yeah.
Shout out to TeamBoydTV Bernie B. Big Q here. Let's not forget, Bernie B and Big Q stay in the same house.
Wow, okay.
Somebody looking over somebody's shoulder. That's all I'm saying.
The hate is right. I don't want to know, JB, how come I can't ever... Like, why when I do good on the picks is a problem? That's what I understand. I don't get... This fool, he runs the thing, and he won the thing a couple years ago. How is that not... That's collusion, in my opinion.
Well, Q, from what we understand, you consistently hang around the top 10, and all of a sudden, even this year so far, up until probably about week 6.
Wow. Can y'all feel it? I'm
just saying, we just noticed these trends, man.
Right, that's all. And I'm just gonna put you out on blast. I'll put you out in the middle of the floor, bro.
Yeah.
JB, you remember last week when I gave my locks on our winners, losers, and locks, right?
Yeah.
And I said Cleveland Browns would not win the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Remember when you said, who Cleveland Browns gonna play? I told you Minnesota Vikings. You said, I'm gonna pick Cleveland Browns.
I picked Cleveland on the show.
Yeah.
I picked Cleveland on the show. But you know, you thought I was gonna sully my pick sheet with some Cleveland Browns nonsense. You had me messed up.
That's all good. But anyway, congratulations.
Let me clear the air though, Glass. I just got a text say that your levels are kind of loud, Q. But anyway.
Oh, mine is okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I can take that.
I will say this, Glass. I had days to think about it, man. It was not a good pick, so I didn't pick it. That's basically it.
Both of y'all?
See what I'm saying?
I only Brandon does that. Brandon always tell me, just because I say it on the show means I'm going to pick him on the pick.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
At the time I felt it. I felt good about it. Then I learned that the game was in London. I'm like, yeah, right.
All right, well, that was good. I was using my webcam microphone. I don't know why it was like that. That's cool. I think we should be good by now.
But once again, congratulations, Big Q, for having a perfect week and winning the week 8. So.
Yeah. It was good stuff, right? The next thing I want to get into, I mentioned at the open that your boy Raven Shogun JB was in Twitter jail, but you know what? That's what I told people on Twitter. If you don't watch TeamBoydTV Live for anything else, watch it for winners, losers, and locks, right? Because JB said he foretold the Miami Dolphins' future, and there was one character. I ain't gonna call no names, and I don't even want to embarrass him no further. He tweeting in, talking about Matt Moore was better than every quarterback in the world, and the Dolphins was going to smack all 3 of our teams around. Next thing I know, when that's on Thursday the next day, the Ravens done dropped 40. And JB, I think you prefaced it like this. Well, I'll let you tell me what y'all didn't have and drop 40 points. Tell me how that happened.
Oh, nobody to throw it to, nobody to protect the passer, couldn't stop a nosebleed in the run, gave up 3 300-yard rushes in the 3 games previous to that. And they just we beat their ass. Basically, that's basically what happened.
Crazy stuff, right? I'm just saying, if you don't watch TeamBoydTV Live for nothing else, watch for winners, losers, and locks. Some funny stuff happens when you do it that way. The last thing is it goes out to somebody that's near and dear to my heart. You know, my sweet sister Gal Lauren. Oh, I gotta address you. I gotta do it. You know, talking about green checks and red X's. Where they at though? Where they at though? All right, I'm just saying, you know, let's watch that comment section.
It's called a Kirk Cousins giveaway at the end. Just
know what I'm saying?
That's what happened.
On to business though, right? Okay, we got a good show for y'all tonight, man. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of things kind of transpired in the last week. We had the trade deadline, obviously, right? We're gonna talk about that. Kelvin Benjamin, Dwayne Brown, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jay Ajayi, right? Notables, right? Stuff we're gonna get into that because there was some questionable things that happened in that. Also, at the beginning of the week, we had some. Don't tell me you guys. We back, Panthers guard FSU. We back, bro. You know, this is our second episode back. But welcome back. Welcome back to you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we beginning of the week, Bob. What's his name?
McNair.
Bob McNair made some comments about inmates and stuff at the last owner-player meeting. We're going to talk about that. Colin Kaepernick's lawyer said on record that he got in good faith that Colin Kaepernick going to be signed in the next 10 days, which that was 3 days ago. So we're talking about 7 days now, which begs the question, Glass, and we're going to talk about that with the open. If Colin Kaepernick's lawyer is claiming that he is going to get a job in the next week after Colin Kaepernick has filed a injunction grievance about collusion within the owners. Now they did say they had a smoking gun. First question I got for you. First of all, if you're an employer and you fire somebody or let them go or whatever, and they file a complaint against you, why would you hire them back? Like, I don't understand why does lawyers even saying stuff like this? I don't understand his premise. I don't get it.
Because evidently they do have a smoking gun. The only way I would sign somebody that got something on me is because they got something bigger that I want to have exposed. There's a lot of things in the NFL lately, man. That showed me they grimy as hell, man. That situation where all of a sudden Roger Goodell is being ousted, trying to be ousted. They trying not to sign him to that multi-year extension. While all of a sudden, after a week or two, when you find out Roger Goodell is siding for the players, now you don't want them anymore. Right. Yeah, you know, it's kind of sketchy, man.
It's crazy to me. Like this lawyer JB is confident that Colin Kaepernick was. And my whole point is, why would this lawyer in Colin's camp would even be looking for that? I mean, why would they be? Because in my opinion, if you somebody like a Bob Kraft or somebody, you can bring Colin Kaepernick on. You work him out, you know, have him on the bench for 3 months or so and claim that, you know, his performance was terrible and you get rid of him. So doesn't that kill his collusion case right then and there? Or like Glass said, unless there's something else going on, what you got?
It's obviously something, because up to this point, the answer has always been no. They'll do Huntley, they'll do Jay Cutler for $10 million for 1 year. Up until this point, you know, the response is different. The talk is different. So there's something there. But above all, I mean, from the owner's perspective, if it wasn't like he claiming it to be, guarantee some contracts. And if Colin really want to play, and if he really feel like all this commotion is just because he feel like they're against him, he better be damn well ready to play, and he better be able to, because you know, everything about him will be magnified times 10.
It would. Now, this is my feelings on the Glass, and you let me know if you agree or not. I'm thinking this is just appeasement, like, you know, because I don't know the inner workings on what's going on. Like I said, maybe Colin got something. Maybe he got something juicy. Maybe he got something really, really good. A recorded telephone call, voicemail, email. Maybe he got something concrete. I don't know. But if that's not the case, this is appeasing. Like, okay, he made a noise. He threatened us with a lawsuit. We gonna just, you know, pick him up just for the hell of it, right? That don't solve nothing either. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't understand the purpose of it. Like, this whole thing got me confused. I don't really understand what's going on here.
My thing is this: I don't understand, and they made it this way, obviously, because I mean, I don't understand the going around your elbow to get to your ass thing about how this is playing out. But it was never about Colin against the NFL, Colin against the military, Colin against. It wasn't even about that. I don't understand how we get to this litigation when the whole thing was just a silent protest, which is supposed to be. You know, you're right. You know, I don't know. That took on a couple of different lives of his own, if you ask me.
So I don't know, Glass. It's just a weird situation in my opinion. I just a couple weeks ago, dude filed an injunction. This week, his lawyer claiming that he about to sign a deal with somebody. It screams some weirdness to me. It's something fishy going on. I don't know what's happening.
I wouldn't put it past if it is what you said it was, just to appease them and to let him go in a little bit. Look what they did to, I can't remember his name right now, to the gay player. They gave him a so-called game of chance.
Michael
yeah,
Sam.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Michael Sam, right?
Yeah.
And that's all it is. I wouldn't, NFL, they just so blatantly put stuff out there and just want y'all to dare them to blink.
Yeah.
So it could be just to appease them, but I think Colin's a little bit smarter than that. He might not have showed his hands fully, so we have to wait and see.
He showed it fully, and I really think he got some really master plan somewhere. I think when we see this really unfold, when the Trump cards get played, we're gonna be like, damn, he had this thing figured out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's gonna be bad. Moving on, so we're talking about litigation. Ezekiel Elliott, listen. They still fighting this thing, man, and for now he's suspended, right? He's not slated to play on Sunday, right? And we keep going back and forth. Is he gonna play? Get suspended, gets stalled out. Personally, I'm sick of it. I think he should do like Tom Brady did and say, you know what, this is too much. Let me just stop doing this. I don't know how much it's costing to keep doing this versus how much he actually getting paid. But I don't know, JB, like as far as Ezekiel Elliott and his suspension saga, what you think about it?
I just feel like what happened to the real court of law? Like, as far as the court of law goes, that stuff been over with.
Right.
I mean, now you get to the point where, I mean, what's it worth to the NFL and their own, dark government? What's it worth to you? I mean, is it brand, or you saying that this guy got away with something that you totally against, or are you after Ezekiel Elliott and somebody else pushing this for another reason? Because I don't understand it. It's just a 6-game suspension for something that was first alleged, then not happening in the court of law at all. Like, they dismissed that whole thing. So I mean, what are you after? Why are you after it so hard?
The NFL and Roger Goodell don't care nothing about what really happened or whether or not old girl gonna testify or whatever. They could care less, right? And the point is, they feel like they hit him with conduct detrimental to the league or whatever, right? And basically Ezekiel Elliott is defanging him, like he's saying, look, man, whatever, dude. Tom Brady played you to the left. I'm gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no power here. You know what I'm saying? And they slapping him with his own weapon, hitting him with the CBA. Like, and that's the part that's genius to me.
Well, this is the part. This is the question that I'm asking. Then is it certain clauses or sanctions of a person that's contractually obligated to the NFL that's going, if you found in violation of whatever policies they got, do that hurt you down the line? Do that hurt you contractually? Do you lose money? Does the team suffer some kind of way? Because I can't understand any other motivation for pushing it. That's pretty much water under the bridge.
I don't either. It just seemed like he said, the commissioner was like, listen, you owe me this because you had conduct detrimental to what we uphold for this league, and I'm not gonna look like no idiot, by you defeating my punishment. You gonna serve these 6 games. Zeke is like, you can't prove that I did nothing. So I ain't doing nothing,
So he gonna be first investigated by whatever state he was against initially, and found not guilty in the court of law. Then you got to go through the NFL's, their government and their law system, and get retried again.
Right, that's exactly what's going on. So Glass, what you think?
Silly shit I've heard.
Basically, what JB just said, the NFL full of shit, bro. Right. Number one. We got proof that Ray Rice did what he did. We got proof Greg Hardy got convicted in the court of law. We don't have proof that Ezekiel did what he supposedly had done. And actually, the police department and courts dropped it. Right. So why the NFL gonna pick it up? Because the NFL trying to save face.
The NFL got a video that ain't got nothing to do with the alleged thing, but it does, it does kind of help prove their point that this dude is a maniac. What I'm saying? No,
well, okay, we'll say that then. Don't sit here and say we're gonna give you a 6-game suspension for domestic violence. Now I understand he got a hold with the St. Patrick's Day situation and all this other stuff, But you supposedly give him a 6-game suspension for the domestic violence situation, which you don't have proof of. Number one. Now I'm kind of torn because personally, if I'm Ezekiel Elliott, if I didn't do what y'all say I'm doing, I'm going down with the ship because I'm gonna keep fighting this until you ain't gonna sully my name, you know what I'm saying, and smear it and whatnot. Number two, now it's gonna be bad for the Dallas Cowboys because he gonna get the suspension. Let's go and put it out there because if you gonna give Captain America, aka Tom Brady, a 6 games, well, was dropped down to 4, wasn't it? 4 games for deflated footballs. You definitely gonna get it for this situation here, which means that okay, he could have took the 6-game suspension. He'd be playing now. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys right now 4-3. He's not going to be back until December 17th when they play against the Raiders. That might hurt the team in the long run. But once again, I'm not thinking about the team if I'm Ezekiel. I'm talking about my tooth and nail. Forget the Dallas Cowboys, forget the NFL. You ain't gonna mess up my name. So if I'm Ezekiel, I ain't mad at you.
But here's my thing, Glass. Is it policy or is it the other owner saying this lessens the Cowboys' chance of winning? I want them out. Other teams could have been pushing for Brady to face whatever violation he violated on. Okay, so I mean, if it's policy, I don't understand it. It's just, I mean, nobody really, as they come to realize, when it comes to real life, people can care less about football.
Right.
You know, all right. So I don't know what they're thinking.
I don't know, but this is the question I got for y'all. We still got a couple more days before Sunday, and you know, just like the last time, he was able to get it stopped before Sunday. You know, is the suspension really gonna kick in this time, or you know?
You can only delay it so many times. You know? This is what, the third one.
Yeah, you know. I mean, he playing against them hard. I'd say.
well, nobody has time for kangaroo court, so what we're gonna do is move on. That's bigger fish to fry, man.
That's right. So. Speaking of which, big fish and inmates. Okay, so we had the illustrious player owner meetings last week. Oh, it was great stuff, right? You know, so we had some players talking about how great it was, and we making headway, and this, that, and the third, and then an old fuddy duddy decides to stand up and talk about how inmates are running this, how we don't want. Now, listen. Now, I don't want to be that.
Can't even get the analogy right.
I don't want to be that guy. But
what?
Troy Vincent, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I understand where he's coming from. I get it. I completely get it. Can we? Did he overrate just a little bit? Just
over what?
Over the inmates running the asylum. It's just a figure of speech, bro. I'm saying, like, he act like he called him a monkey or something. I'm saying, like,
okay, all right. Let me take this, bro.
I gotta back off of because it just blows my. How many times have you heard, and maybe you didn't said it before too, you know, about inmates running?
At least I said it correctly. Inmates running an asylum.
Right. Oh, he's talking about.
He says inmates running the prison, which throws up like, okay, what's on your mind? I don't understand. He 80 years old. He might be senile, but damn it, we know what's up in your heart. Number two, I hear what you're saying. People are getting real sensitive. I got that, but let me put this by you. Bernie B.
Yeah.
Bernie B is scared of cats. Okay. You love Bernie B. You do whatever. Now you ain't gonna sit here and say get over it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sensitive about the situation. Right now, it is the racial lines we are sensitive. You don't get up in the middle of the goddamn meeting and say that and just think ain't gonna be no clap back on that, man.
Do I think it was tactful? No, right? But do I think we being a little extra super sensitive about? I mean, in this
right case, now, Trump is in office. We got all the Aryan Nation brothers supposedly up in arms, being real bold and doing what they want to do. Yeah. You don't think that's a little bit sensitive right now, man? I'm gonna put it out there. I ain't covering up nothing. We put it all out there. You want hot takes? I give you sizzling hot takes.
Okay.
I'll call it bullshit, bro.
Well, you know, it is what JB, listen. You heard the situation. Now, if you were in that room, right, you know, sitting beside Troy Vincent, you heard the expression come out. You saw Troy Vincent's reaction to it. What is JB saying about this?
Well, I do understand he was speaking figuratively, but that, like to Glass's point, that's probably the wrong time to use an analogy like that. Based on what's happening league wide and all of the focus on the very thing that the analogy is kind of saying. So, granted, now I do understand he was speaking figuratively. That's. I mean, nobody's dumb there, but at the same time, you know, you don't throw gas on. You don't throw gas on fire, man.
Well, this what happens. This what happens, Glass. So we already in this situation. Colin Kaepernick done created. Okay, he done created this. He done created this situation. So first we got players kneeling for the social injustice of the country. Kudos. I'm all about that life, right? Then we got people, because after Trump said what he said, now we got people kneeling and going on in protest of the president. Okay, which means absolutely nothing. There's zero merit to that. Now we got people protesting about Bob McNair because he misused a figure of speech. Okay, now I don't know how much merit that got, but it ain't got none as near as what Colin Kaepernick was doing. That's what I'm trying to say. The weight ain't there for me. You know, I mean, I would have been like, bruh, you know, but I would have moved on from there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't move on from that. All right, you need all the ammo that you can get when it comes to different situations. Believe me, I understand. It was a figure of speech. People use it all the time. There's a time and place for everything. That wasn't the time nor the place for that situation. Okay. I always said, I think I heard somebody else say it. Y'all had too many of these owners, players meetings. One of these times, somebody's gonna come to here, somebody gonna sit here and say enough of this. So-called Bob McNair was the one. You know what I'm saying? So we know what he meant by that. We know how he felt. He's saying that these players have too much say, so we can't give them the power to say what they want to say. Number one. Number two, your apology was so BS. It's ridiculous. Now you're gonna say I wasn't talking about the players, I'm talking about the front office. Really? That didn't come on, man. That's how I know he on BS, man. I hear what you're saying, Big Q, but man, when it's in your face, when you blatantly put it in our face, man, I ain't gonna sit here and just here's the thing. And put it on the side.
You know, in 2011, when they came, you know, and almost shut the NFL down when it was going through this whole collective bargaining agreement thing, it was certain liberties that both sides kind of, you know, gave in to, and now they kind of rearing their ugly heads, right? It's certain battles because of the CBA that they signed in 2011. It's certain battles that the players are not going to win, and it's just certain battles that the owners are not going to win. And I think, you know, I mean, ain't that nobody can do about that. I mean, this was signed 6-7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what the bickering is about, but, you know, what's in ink is what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you feel about that way, Jay. I mean, ain't no need to argue about this because we already agreed on it. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed on what?
On whatever they got beef about. I'm just saying, you know.
I just think it's just growing too many unnecessary tentacles, man. It's just, that's just what it is. And I don't know if this was all other people seeing opportunity to express their displeasures about how this whole thing is structured, but this is not what it's intended to be from the source. Right. I just think that you know, people are probably saying things that they always felt. I mean, you have to take people for at their word, and it's grown into something that shouldn't be. I think they should keep a whole lot of stuff in house. Teams pride themselves on keeping stuff in house. I feel like, especially at the top, they should definitely try to keep their stuff in house.
And to Glass, to your defense, you know, the climate is a little different. You know, we got to be a lot more careful about a lot of things we say. You know, everybody, honestly, it's just the way it is. So, you know, but on to, I guess, a more lighter thing here. So trade deadline was on Tuesday, yesterday, and some crazy stuff happened. First of all, man, I'm tired of making excuses for Hugh Jackson and the Cleveland Browns. You know, I'm done. Like after yesterday, I mean, did we see this like 2 years ago with, who was that? Was it Denver? I think it was Denver, wasn't it? It was Denver or Baltimore.
Oh yeah, with Elvis Dumerville.
Right, yeah, one of them. I mean, we just saw this. Like, this is stupid.
No. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Denver was stuck on stupid 2-3 years ago. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to give the Cleveland Browns the Dumbass of the Week award, man. This here was so retarded, Now you know you need a quarterback. Yeah. Sorry, JB. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. You know you need a quarterback, and I ain't got nothing against AJ McCarron. I think he's a decent quarterback because when
another quarterback when you just drafted Deshaun Kaiser.
Okay, how's that working out?
Look, we know how it's working out, but I'm saying draft picks don't grow on trades. You know what I'm saying? So
right. What's AJ McCarron? AJ.
So JB, is the Kaiser experiment over? That's what Glass telling us. The Kaiser experiment is done.
No, because they made an attempt to end it, but it didn't work out.
Right. Okay, Glass. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Okay. Sashi Brown, Paul Podesta, and Hugh Jackson. All of them are stupid as hell. Sashi Brown, he should be gone a long time ago. But you're gonna bring in your chief strategy officer, a strategy officer who comes from baseball, who dealing with numbers. All you need is common sense to know that Deshaun Watson went to 2 national championships, going against Alabama, won one of them. That's all the numbers you need to know. But you don't go ahead and get this dude from Texas Tech. I ain't got nothing against Kaiser. He from Texas Tech, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing against him. But you see in your face what Deshaun Watson can do. But you're going to go, and let's not forget about Wentz and Dak and all them other players. Yeah. But Paul Podesta crunching up numbers and you still come out wrong. That's your strategy officer. You still come up short. Right. And then yesterday, you got a deal to get AJ McCarron. Yeah. And from what I understand, how it went is that the assistant in the front office of the Browns sent the Bengals an email like at 3:54 asking what the deal was with the paperwork and the trade. And because it wasn't from Sashi Brown, the Bengals missed the email. And then they saying behind the scenes, what the Bengals are saying is that the reason why the paperwork was all screwed up because the front office and the coaching staff wasn't on the same page when it comes to the evaluation of McCarron. Right. And JB, I think all three of us said last week, Hugh Jackson doesn't have say so in the trade. And that right there shows you where they at right now.
Let me pose this to you, JB. Let's say the trade actually happened, right? How much time, energy, and resources is Cleveland willing to waste on this quarterback situation? Like, to me, it's a lot of wasted energy and resources here. I'm talking about money, draft picks, all of this, meetings and all this. I mean, look at the list. Let's just look at the last 5 quarterbacks that I had, right? It ain't even worth the time. And
last decade, bro. Don't let's say the last 5.
So how long is it going to go there? I mean, JB, this is ridiculous. And the fumble that they done yesterday just sums up everything about what's happening in Cleveland, man. What you got on?
It's designed to look like that. Like I said, that organization is laundering money for the league.
Yes,
it's supposed to look like a mistake. It's supposed to look like blockbuster trades. You trade first round picks. You whiff on drafts. It's supposed to look like they don't know what's going on, but they're washing money, and I'm gonna go with that.
Hey, listen, I can't completely rule it out because I mean, it's hard to kind of look. It's hard for me to justify a lot of stuff that's going on in Cleveland. It really is. I mean, I look at Deshaun Kaiser. This dude wouldn't even been on my board. Period. I'm just saying, like, why even look at him when you got all this other stuff going on over here?
That's the crazy part about it. Nobody else looked at Kaiser.
Right.
Pat Mahomes was more heavily looked at or recruited than that guy. I didn't even know who that guy was, right? But in order to rinse the money, you had to run it through a guy that nobody was paying attention to. That's how it worked.
Right.
You study that, man.
And I said last week, this dude is straight garbage. Straight garbage. He is, averaging 9 interceptions per game. This is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Okay, so then we got, what you think about this one? Dwayne Brown, Houston, left tackle. He goes to, where he went to?
Seattle.
Yeah, he went to Seattle, right? Somebody else to look out for your boy, Russell Wilson. I thought it was a good move. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a whole lot of, risk involved in that.
This is another example of the bullshit that's going on in the NFL. The most vocal person against Bob McNair for what he said is Dwayne Brown.
Right, they had to get him out of there.
But he's the best left tackle in the NFL. I think I got the numbers here. Out of 428 pass blocks snapped, he only gave up 1 sack. But you're gonna get rid of him.
Yeah.
and you got the franchise quarterback, the rookie of the year, in Deshaun Watson. You're going to take away his blind side.
You know what? I'm saying, like,
come on, man.
These are the things that people don't be paying attention to. JB.
Come on, man.
You know, it's crazy, but you know what? He you know, they got him out of there. He gone. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it is when you're washing money, man. Hey, tell me something else, man. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few things and I'm gonna let it go, but I can go on and on. You have consecutive sellout seasons. Okay, the Browns have consecutive losing streaks. On the Browns. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm just telling you how this works. That only works for one reason. They'll sell you all the amenities and cheap beer all you want to, but the team is never gonna win because you can't wash money like that because other teams ain't gonna give you the money. Now the front is that they sell out the stadium every single year. Their concessions is through the roof, but the team never wins because Pittsburgh, the Rooneys don't want it. Steve Bisciotti don't want it. Paul Brown don't want it. Okay, so and every other AFC team that just says, okay, Cleveland, you giving us them 9 losses this year, right? Boom, give them the money, have to rinse it somehow. So it runs through concessions, sellouts, stadiums, and players. Wow. Keep them for a little while. When it's starting to look suspicious, they have to. And we sit and wonder, why the hell are you trading for Deshaun Kaiser? Are you shitting me? And then we sit and wonder, why are you trading away Joe Hayden? Why are you bringing in? Then they bring in a splash of free agents. Then all of a sudden they go away. You can't, you gotta, but I see it. I mean, I encourage all of y'all to take a look at that.
Wow.
You know who else was doing it for a long time? The Detroit Lions was doing it for a long time. Wow.
But as a footnote, I ain't know what it's saying. As a footnote, though, you know, Josh Gordon was reactivated with a conditional basis or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, so he back in the fold, but I don't know. Last time they reinstated him, he kind of got scared and ran to the people, the rehab people. He was like, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's.
But JB, I'm gonna have to give you credit, man. You made that sound good. I can almost believe
I'm
that.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm just saying.
Just look at it for 6 or 8 minutes. You'd be like, damn, this is crazy. It ain't about conspiracy. I just know when I see I know what a money laundering front look like.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the next one is the Miami Dolphins. This one I don't understand. You know what I mean? They just got 40 points dropped on them by the Baltimore Ravens for no reason. So they decided to get rid of one of their most awesome, consistent weapons, Jay Ajayi, and send them to a team that really don't need the help. You know what I'm saying? They really don't need the help. But I guess, you know, what's that guy's name? Smallwood or whatever. Any one of them dudes injured or whatever. They having some injuries at running back in Philadelphia, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Smallwood.
I think Sproles is hurt too.
Sproles hurt early, and then they brought Smallwood in, and then he's done. So look, I understand the need, right? But man, they run a rough shot as it is, and you gonna bring in a player like Jay Ajayi.
For a 4th round pick?
They got him super cheap. JB, what you think about this trade?
Well, you know, see, I've noticed that the 2 teams that made the worst trades in modern history got their ass beat the week before. So they probably just a little silly about how can't understand. So they feel like their best option was their worst option. Miami's falling apart at the seams. And it started with that one picture that went viral of that $1 bill.
Yeah.
It's all going downhill from there. But I honestly, man, really, I think that the trade was a favor, just like the Carolina trade. It was a favor. And ironically, I know we're gonna get to that. I think Calvin Benjamin could have played anywhere in the league. Could have played in New Zealand if he wanted to. But ironically and coincidentally, he goes straight to Buffalo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The Carolina Bills. He goes straight there. So I'm looking at it. And y'all probably think I'm on some conspiracy crap tonight, but it's a favor. It's easy.
Right. Well, we'll get into favors when we talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. But Glass, Jay Ajayi to Philly. What's your thoughts on it? You know, since JB,
I'm sick of the stomach of it for simple fact. I was on our Urban Arena Brothers show last night. Canaan Ice and they Philadelphia Eagles fan, and we played. My beloved Broncos played the Eagles this weekend, and I didn't want to hear about no Jay Ajayi going to Philadelphia Eagles, and they don't really need him.
Right.
They already 7-1. They got one of the top quarterbacks out there, and almost a fully loaded team in the first place, and you're gonna add another running back. Like they really need a running back. So
Pro Bowl guy, okay.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I know he started off kind of rough. I ain't even gonna blame it on Jay. I'm gonna put on the team. Right. Team ain't even functioning right. So it's a good plus. He going from a 4-3 team to a 7-1 team. Yeah. You know he gonna ball out. They already got Blount over there. I think he's the fourth ranked, with fourth highest, had the fourth highest rushing stats. Mm-hmm. So you just gave him a little bit more help.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I was like, what in the world is happening? Like, I don't understand how teams can pull things like this off. Like, how like Brandon Cooks going to the New England. Like how they doing this? Like
man, you know what? I probably need to go back and pay attention to college football. All these people giving up talent like that for, you know what I'm saying, 4th and 6th round picks. Right, what the hell's going on in college football? I don't know about.
I don't know.
I don't know nobody that's worth a Jay Ajayi or Kelvin Benjamin that's in college right now. It's probably some guys out there, but shit.
Yeah, and and that brings us to Kelvin Benjamin, which is the most puzzling trade of the whole.
Hey, I want you to explain this to me.
I can't look. The only thing I can explain to you is what the general manager said, which it makes no sense to me. He says he wants to. And I'm gonna tell you what this is really about. Let me tell you what this really. The Carolina Panthers office and coaching staff, or whoever this is pulling the strings, are all in love with Christian McCaffrey. Who I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not a fan. I'm not. He's a wide receiver. They trying to squeeze him in at running back. He suck as a running back and ain't that good as a wide receiver. Look, you saw that. Look at his rushing yards and carries versus his receptions and yards receiving.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what's going to end up happening is they gave up on the Christian McCaffrey, the running back experience, and now we're going to try to make him a wide receiver and you try to get some more reps for, Samuel. Bring in Brinson Burson back off the practice squad or wherever the hell he been hiding at. You know what I'm saying? He got Shepard. And pray and hope that we can get Olsen back before the roof just kind of implode on this team because Cam ain't been playing well. Now you take away his safety net and, his big play guy.
He lost Benjamin. 2 safety nets.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Olsen out. And,
right.
I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell is going on? Like,
when
the news came through and I said Kelvin, I was like, they better be getting something good for him. You know what I'm saying? They better be getting something good for him. But a 3rd and a 7th. For a big play guy like that. Now I know he didn't get a lot of yards after the catch and all this kind of stuff, but
he caught the ball,
especially with a dude that's erratic on the pass like Cam Newton.
Right?
JB, this one, I'm telling you, I can't explain this one.
I don't understand it either. All I know, well, now I've listened to a lot of people speak on this. They said, they went 15-1 into a Super Bowl without KB.
Without KB,
but you have
the same guy.
Well, I don't believe that for one second. Then there's the compliment of what he did have. Philly Brown, there was a Ted Ginn, there was an Olsen, there was a running game to speak of. All that stuff is not there, not as prominent as it was 2 years ago. Now, this whole Christian McCaffrey situation reminds me of Jimmy Clausen for specific reasons that they believe in something, his potential, and it ain't even close to being when you believe in like a potential of somebody or something or ability, they've shown that they could do it at that level. But we seen Chris McCaffrey as a college player. That's awesome. But what have you shown to warrant a trade like that for your production? Right. That is not even smart.
Yeah, I don't think so. And glad. So the quote was, we want to get more speed on the field, right? Meaning Christian McCaffrey, Samuel, Shepard, these guys. Some Clay, some other guys who they want to get on the field. I just, why not trade those dudes? I mean, I know you can't get much for them, but all you got was a 3rd and a 7th anyway for your 1st round draft pick of 2000. What was it? He came to the team 3 years ago, right? 3 or 4 years ago. 1st round draft pick for a 3rd and a 7th. You know what I'm saying?
It's boggling my mind. I'm sitting here looking at the comments, and I'm looking at what Panther God FSU 23 says. It's sad to see KB gone, but crazy thing is, might open up the offense without burners. What? And I know I'm sounding like I'm smashing your team, but you was kind of holding on tight to the offense you had. Now you got rid of one of the main cogs, and like you said, the safety net. You already missing Olsen. So what's the other? I mean, I don't know anything too much about Curtis Samuel and Shepard and Bird, but was it that much? Was it that great that you had to give up KB?
I just don't see trusting Samuel. He can't catch a pass for 7 yard lateral pass from 5 yards and they go get returned for a touchdown. I don't understand. Maybe it's happening on the practice squad. These rookies or these second-year guys have a hard time letting their week translate to Sunday. But I mean, if you're trying to win now, the message that was sent, in my opinion, is that you're not trying to win now. You're building for the future. So the rebuild start at mid-season, you start a rebuild.
That's crazy to me.
I don't understand.
I guess they saw Cam melt down and was like, you know what, we done. You know what I'm saying? We finish here. Because now you're asking Cam to do so much more. We had Olsen and he had Funches and Benjamin who could. He could just throw that thing up and Benjamin, 85, 90% of the time he's going to bring it down. No yards after the catch, but he's going to bring it down. And, and that has gone. Now you got these finesse guys. He's going to have to figure out how to be more accurate with that ball or it's going to be a lot of incompletions. A lot. So I don't know. We'll see going forward, what happens. And, we'll see what happens on Sunday when they face off against the Atlanta Falcons, which – we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway,
my thing is this, though. My thing is this: the head, just based on last year, the incumbent for that division is the Atlanta Falcons. Most divisions that I look at in this league, they build to either compete against the incumbent, or they kind of look like that team,
right?
Except for the AFC East, that don't ever change. I don't know why, but the Panthers look just like Tampa Bay. They had the big body receiver, Mike Evans. You got that one guy. Well, they had Colston for a long time in New Orleans. They had KB in Carolina, and you got Julio Jones. Okay, now what do you do? So you got a whole bunch of scatty guys that ain't even, unless you're trying to change the look of the NFC South, which I doubt. That's not going to happen.
It's too late to do that. Maybe the people think what Carolina is. They one-dimensional and maybe they trying to change the look. I don't know. This is a weird one. Actually, this goes back to the firing or the dismissal of Dave Gettleman. It's a bunch of weird stuff been going on ever since. You know what I'm saying? But the creme de la creme, the cherry on top, the Sith Lord Bill Belichick decides to look. First of all, he traded up Brissett to the Indianapolis Colts early in the season, and that one I get. I completely understand that, right? But, now it's time to deal with Jimmy Garoppolo without having a backup plan for Tom Brady. Now, this is where it gets sticky, right? I understand the why. You're right. I understand the reasoning behind doing it now, right? Because Jimmy's contract coming up and you're going to have to pay him more than you pay Tom or you're going to franchise him or whatever the case may be. It's going to be too much to pay for a backup when you plan on going with Tom. I completely understand that. But you ain't got nothing for Tom, and Tom is a low hit away from being retired. You know what I'm saying? And I it look like Bill is on his exit strategy right now. Glass, I don't know what you think about this one.
Really? You think Bill's on the exit strategy?
Look like to me.
Until I see some otherwise, like I said, I can't stand the New England Patriots, but I respect what the system that they got over there. Until I see a flop or something, I think Bill Kraft and the Patriots fans gonna trust Belichick on what he's doing because hell, they've been to 8 Super Bowls, won 6.
Yeah,
that's all the resume that you need. Right. Now don't get me wrong. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, we only seen 2 games of him.
2 games.
And he might end up being like a Matt Castle. I ain't gonna curse him with nothing like that. But what we've seen with Matt Castle, at least we've seen a whole season of Matt Castle.
Right.
And as soon as he left that system, he had a flop. So we're gonna have to see what happened with Jimmy Garoppolo. But for some fact that you only got a 2nd round pick for Garoppolo when you could have a first, because 49ers got a couple of first ones in their pocket.
They do.
Where I'm gonna lead to.
What they gonna pay that much for him though? When you got Kirk Cousins right there, ready to do it.
And that's a whole nother story we're gonna talk about in a little bit, I think, with Kirk Cousins.
Right.
But I had to give GM John Lynch a whole lot of credit. He might get Rookie Executive of the Year for simple fact. He straight fleeced my hometown Chicago Bears by getting all of them picks so they could get Trubisky. This move right here is a plus. They got rid of somebody else, if I ain't mistaken. But John Lynch doing a good thing over in 49ers. You need a quarterback. I think you got a quality quarterback, but we just got to wait and see on this.
Quality quarterback, I don't know. 2 games, not a big enough sample size for me.
Oh, no doubt.
Even though they were
but it's better than what you got.
Yeah,
and all you had to do is give
but
a
if he had
second
went
round
on the
pick.
market, JB, he would have garnered a king's ransom for a 2-game resume.
Well, look. How many backups to Brady has went on to do great things in this league?
None. I mean, you got one on your team, right?
So yes. So right now I have no comment. They pump faked a lot of people with Mallet, with Moore, with they got this guy with Brissett, whatever his name is, Jimmy G. We'll see, man. We'll see. If it was that good, if he was a talent like that, they just figure he'll learn something from Bill Belichick that no other player had a chance to experience. And I don't know why they hold the Patriots to that high of a standard.
Now, did we see? We didn't have a whole lot of sample size with Aaron Rodgers before he took the helm, right? He just came out and didn't nobody really know, and he was just. But then it wasn't a situation where he played 2 games and you didn't see him no more. He actually just kind of took over. But I don't know. It's hard to really 2 games. That's hard for me, man. I'm just saying. The second rounder, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then KB can't get but a third and a 7th, you know what I'm saying?
And here's the part that's a trip to me. You've got granted he missed the whole season with that knee injury prior, but you got to see what KB do on the field. They don't know what this Jimmy Garoppolo fella's about. You played in the absence of Tom Brady, okay? You didn't have enough time, and the team was that talented enough for you just to manage the game. They let you take a few shots, and you happened to be successful with those few shots. Yeah. But he was definitely on a short leash. Bill Belichick showed him for a little bit, took him back.
And he was on a much better Patriots team. And to follow up what JB said, Glass, I want he go out of that system, right? And we seen what happened with Castle and Mallet and these guys. And this dude is young, bro. I'm saying, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, I think the 49ers are all happy right now. They think they got their guy. And they very may have him. I'm just not confident. I got a feeling that, at the end of the season, which there's an insurance policy for them, if he ain't working out for them, they can kick him to the curb. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
I think it's a chance worth taking. I mean, hell, they haven't won a game yet. Why not, man?
Okay, cool. All right, so let's we already took up the hour. Okay, let's get these games. You want to get the games, or you got another story you want to do?
I think I'm cool, man. Okay. I think I got all my. I think I vented all my frustrations out, man, on this NFL.
Put them out there. Let's smash them, because
All right, let's. Now
let me remind you of something real quick. You and JB, that I was perfect last week. Okay, I want y'all to understand how green checks feel rolling down, my cheeks like that. I'm saying, like, no red X's, no way. It was a beautiful thing. I just want to rub that in,
Yeah,
you done, man? You done?
I'm done for now. Since
you want to put it out there, how about your Falcons? I mean, not your Falcons. I'm talking about the Falcons. That's 4-3 going against your 5-3 Carolina Panthers, man.
Well, I went with Atlanta last week because I felt like they needed a spark. Okay, I felt like they needed a spark. They catching Carolina now in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? They come in here too, and Cam ain't having he ain't performing at the highest level. They done took one of his safety nets away. We still don't know if Kuechly gonna come back and bail him out on defense or not. You know what? This is not gonna be popular with Panther Nation right now, with the Panther fan. I got the Falcons getting this one. Now we might be able to get them later. We might be able to go down there to that shiny new stadium and punch them in the face. But we ain't in a good spot right now. And I mean, maybe they rally, and maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am. But things just don't feel good in Carolina right now. I'm just,
okay.
That's my pick. What do you got, JB?
Taking the Falcons. The foundation of the Carolina Panthers is not just cracking. There's a whole section missing. It's hard to play for each other. Man, I can understand if it was Brinson Burson that got re-waived, but you're taking a part of a guy who missed out on the magical season. See how much work he put in to get back out there, and to be dealt away for thin air. It's going to take a while to build continuity again. So it ain't about what's on the field, what the team is. It's about the temperature of it. Atlanta is together. They've been together. They just had, they've been at the top and fell together. So they'll be ready for this.
I mean, like I said, guys, they could rally. I just don't see where the cohesiveness is going to come from in this short amount of time, especially since the KB stuff happened on a Tuesday right in the middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? That's rough. So we got to change the game plan now, unless they knew this was gonna happen, which I don't think they did.
Right.
Anyway, what's your pick?
I'm definitely going with the both of y'all. I'm going with the Falcons for simple fact. The Falcons turned it around last week. Usually they had the lead and lose the lead. This time they was losing and gained it in the fourth quarter. So they changed it for the better. Where just like you saying, the Panthers they look like they're in disarray right now. So that being said, I'm going with the Falcons over the Panthers.
I don't think it's healthy for Carolina to win this game, just because it'll be fool's gold.
You know what? I'm with you on that. I think that, then people are going to start saying, oh, well, KB, what, because I've seen it on Twitter already, Glass. I already seen it. People's like, well, y'all get into the Super Bowl without him. Cam had his best MVP season without him. This, that, and the third. But when that dude is on the field, man, that dude is a beast. And he going to go to Buffalo, and him and Taylor, I'm telling you, they're going to make some noise up there, man.
Right.
I just remember what it felt like around here when he went out with that knee injury on that magical season.
Yeah, man.
I just remember how heartfelt and how sad the Panthers fans was about that. Then, he fight like hell to come back, and then you get, they didn't even get a chance to tap into that. And now all of a sudden you deal them away for basically nothing. That just ain't going to go away. That just ain't going to go away in 1 week. Maybe next Sunday after this one, they'll be fine. Maybe. But I just don't. I think they'll come out and try to. The defense will definitely try to fight, but I mean, we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons. Is this in Atlanta, by the way?
No, this here.
No, it's in.
Probably a rain or something after that game.
All right, what's the next one? Because I think Atlanta will come here. They're gonna get this one. I think they kick us while we're down, and that's fine. And by the time we get to go to Atlanta, we'll be got to a better place. But yeah,
Gotcha. Battle of the 4 and 3s. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going up to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars.
Okay, you know what? I was high on the Jags early in the season, and then I don't know what's been happening since. They kind of went through a little bit of a little thing. You know what I mean? Blake Bortles was running his interception count up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
that defense, though.
I mean, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at, and I'm a Bengals guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they just ain't showed no fight, no grit this season, man. Like usually, Perfect and them boys, man, they got a little attitude, they got a little swag about themselves, man. They've been getting punked a little bit, and it's been like the offense has been clicking. Is that the defense ain't got no teeth this season, in my opinion. I think they're gonna get punched in the mouth by Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? What you got, Glass?
Man, I'm kind of tossed. I'm listening to what you saying. I'm thinking Cincinnati might have a chance to go up in there and smash Bortles, but they got that run game. Yeah. And they got their own young guns on defense, young Thundercats. Yeah. It's in Jacksonville. It might be by a field goal. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one.
That's what I saw. I went with Jacksonville. Okay, cool. JB, where you at?
I'm going Jacksonville. They're gonna show up with something to prove. Cincinnati's gonna have probably playing off a sour reputation. Actually, it is. They can't wait. They've been running so far. They 3-0 against the AFC North. So maybe 2. They put 44 on us. They put 30 on Pittsburgh. Bengals are nowhere near as good as the Ravens or the Steelers. So they can't wait for this one. They'll win this one.
Wow.
Okay, good point. Good point.
On both games so far. Okay, what's the next one? That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, we got the 5-2 Buffalo Bills going up to MetLife to play the New York Jets. That's 3-5.
Wow, so they're gonna have a fresh, newly, energized
new toy,
and might have an attitude. He might be a little bit pissed off, KB. You know what I'm saying? Along with LaShawn McCoy and that threat at quarterback, Tyrod. You know what? The Jets, they've been entertaining. And I've been messing with Ezra on Twitter because he wanted them to go 0-16. And they're messing up his flow right now.
Right.
They play with a lot of energy and a lot of heart, man, and I like that. But you know what? I think the Bills have been re-energized. You know what I mean? I mean, I know they still got issues. Well, they still. I don't know who KB gonna play with as far as wide receiver go, but maybe he come out there with attitude. I want to, honestly, I want to see KB shine. I want to see what him and Tyrod Taylor can do together, man. Actually, I see Buffalo, but between having a brand new wide receiver, they can just kind of simplify the trees for him, and just run the ball a lot. They got good defense. Jets got good defense. It's gonna be a good game. I don't think they're gonna score over 45 points. combined. But I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. JB, where you at?
Bills, new attitude. They just basically they're feeling like their season just got saved. They're already in a good spot. They got a new guy, a guy they somebody believe. I think the talent is there. They feel like they'll play with a lot of energy just for the simple fact they just thought they feel like or they think that they're in contention with this trade. So I think the attitude will be there, and it won't be all KB. It'll be just more energy to the team, and they'll play like it.
Yeah, all right, I agree. Class, what you got?
It's gonna be a 3-way tie again because Bills are 1 game behind the Patriots. They got a chance to make a wild card. They have not been in the playoffs in 17 years. They're not going backwards, and you just gave them another shiny toy to play with. And I like what the Jets do. I think they got a lot of heart and everything. This is gonna be another. They're gonna just lose another game. It might be close, but I'm definitely gonna go with the Bills.
Hey, look, the Jets been balling though.
I know, right?
I gotta give it to them. They've been
Josh McCown been doing the damn thing. They just
everything that everybody said about them and how they projected them. They balling. They come so close that they can't get in there. You know what I mean? But I like them. I just don't like them in this game. Not in this situation with the Bills pumping their chest right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Well, shouts out to Aries Falcon. He over there in the chat on YouTube. He picked the Falcons. He going with Cincinnati, and he picking the Bills by 10.
Oh, the Bills by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. All right, what's the final last one?
Last game is you know what? It was good. It was a good game until a piece is going to be missing. But we got the Chiefs at 6-2 going up to AT&T Stadium to play the 4-3 Cowboys.
What you think about this one?
No, man, it would have been cool if Zeke was playing, but since he ain't playing, I don't think the Cowboys have a chance, even though it's at home. The Chiefs are rolling. I seen it firsthand Monday night.
Yeah. I gotta disagree with you, man. I think that
last
game,
wait.
Listen,
see, hold on, Big Q. Big Q.
How many touchdowns did they score?
You've been blowing my mind this season. For about 5-6 damn years, you've been fighting me against Alex Smith. I'm sure right now you're about to talk trash about Alex Smith. Last week you was talking about you was talking about who? What team was he talking about, JB? And I'm like, wait a minute.
Then they lose?
Yeah, the Chargers. Now you throwing him under the bus, man. What the hell, dude? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, explain, bro.
I'm refreshed and I'm saying I'm focused. Okay, you don't understand. I'm focused.
I need the medication, bro. You gotta give me that list.
Get kicked. I saw them. Look, I don't know how many. Was it 5 turnovers of Trevor Siemian? They got 5 turnovers over this dude and still didn't score but 1 touchdown. I'm not impressed with that, JB. That's not impressive to me. You kicking 9 field goals, or however many field goals they kicked that game. You barely won against a
Listen, I understand they're winning ugly, but they're winning.
They played against Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian sucks, man. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Like the Denver Broncos offense is awful, awful. And and I'm saying they couldn't even score. Look, I know the Denver defense is still decent. But they couldn't score but 1 touchdown and kick a bunch.
Well, who do you pick though? Let's go
right.
Who I picked in that game?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not picking. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys because you know what? This is what I want.
Picking the Dallas Cowboys.
This is why. Because I know Zeke is the man, and Zeke is the 7.5 yard per carry dude or whatever the case may be. They still got Alfred Morris, and they still got the other guy, right? They still got Dak Prescott. They still got Dez Bryant. They still got all that. So I'm just saying.
Michael Peters. Oh yeah, I think his name Peters.
Marcus Peters.
He going. Who is it?
Marcus Peters.
Yeah, Marcus Peters. He gonna nullify Bryant.
I can tell you this much, Glass, and JB, you can react how you feel. Dallas Cowboys got way more offensive firepower than the Denver Broncos.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the Chiefs, man. I'm about to say what the hell?
So they kick field goals against the Denver Broncos.
Who do you pick though, Q?
I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, man. That was a long dance, man.
Okay, I'm just saying. I didn't let Glass know, man. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that you acting like the Chiefs run roughshod over the Broncos.
No, man. I'm acting like you not the big Q we used to. That's what I'm saying.
Smarter, dude. I'm on drugs.
Yeah.
It slows something down because you straight focused like a mug, bro.
Well, anyway, man, before it get too late, I'm picking. I don't think the Cowboys would have a chance with Ezekiel. I don't think they play teams with a whole lot more dynamic running backs with an S. I just think they, as a team, they are way more complete, way more sound on the things that they'll need. They'll need more than just a running game. They'll need more than just offense. They're going to need defense and special teams. You got to be complete to beat Kansas City lately.
Listen, Kansas
and they are not that team.
Kansas City's last 2 games, offense been anemic, right? Defense.
But where did they end up winning the game at? Either on defense or special teams. They complete. Now these other teams, if they take whatever that is that they do good away, then guess what? You left with the sum of a loss. That's what you left with.
Either one there because Denver showed up with Trevor Siemian and that so-called offense. Turned the ball over 5 times. This Chiefs team, which I was in love with at the beginning of the season, this is what they're about. They're about the turnover game. They're about the plus 7 plus 14. They about that life. Couldn't score nothing.
Well, it's a divisional game. They understand what momentum is when you play an opponent you see twice a season. And I guarantee if it was Carolina or if it was Detroit, that score would have been in the 40s with no problem because they probably couldn't handle the sudden change. But Denver know them all too well. Right. They know them. They know exactly what they're trying to take advantage of and capitalize off of. Probably knew the exact play that they was going to use to capitalize. And it ended up in a field goal attempt.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let it go because I know I ain't going to win against both of y'all, okay? I'm just saying Dallas is showing up with a lot more stuff than Oakland, and who else? Was Oakland in the game before Denver? Was that right? No, it wasn't Oakland. It was Oakland? I think it was Oakland, right?
Yes.
Them teams, they offensive performance has just been horrendous. And Kansas City barely held on to win those games. And now they're going up against all these weapons in Dallas? Y'all crazy. I mean, I like Alex Smith.
All these weapons in Dallas.
I like Kareem Hunt, and I like Tyreek Hill, and I like Alex. I like that. But it ain't going down like that this week. And listen, I'm the one with the perfect picks, okay? So, it's probably in y'all's best interest.
A broke clock is right twice a day, man.
If you feel that way, JB, put yourself over for the good people out there in YouTube land.
All right, so because his meds is kicked in strong right now. All right, I'm not apologizing for my tweets last week. It is what it is. I'm out of Twitter jail. They put me on some type of parole, but I don't care. I will revoke if I have to. Anyway, you can always find me here or on Twitter if I'm out of Twitter jail as Raven Shogun.
Hey, I would say, like, I think people who saw that on Twitter, I know I died laughing. I thought it was hilarious, right? But I told people, this is why you watch the show because stuff happens and then, we pay it forward on Twitter on Sunday, or Thursday or Monday, whenever it is, right? So you got to be careful with it. I tell people, it ain't over until the game is played. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Glass, put yourself over, man.
All right, man. Shouts out to Aries Falcon that joined us on the chat. D1 Chosen, we was waiting on you. You got to show up once in a while. You got to come up for air. We'll be waiting for you.
Anyway, next time the Dolphins get a W, which might be next season.
Oh man, whatever. I don't want to hear from him now since he didn't show up after this ass whooping that JB's Ravens showed on him. But anyway, back to what you were saying. This your boy Glass from Get With It Sports, place where you get your sports the way you want it. If you don't find me here on TeamBoydTV Live, you can check us out on the YouTube channel when we go live, whenever we go back live on Get With It Sports 2. Check us out on Spreaker where we have all our podcasts at Get With It Sports Media. Search for that. Check out the blog page at getwithitsports.wordpress.com, and you can email me at Twitter at Get With It Sports, Facebook /Get With It Sports. And if you get contact with me, email me at getwithitsports2. That's number 2 at gmail.com.
Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate it. So listen, fellas, it's been great, and I'm telling you, like, if you guys want to keep it rolling on the weekend, man, with like the football games on, you can follow me too on Twitter at TeamBoydTV. I have a lot of fun. I'm not as entertaining as JB, okay? Not that entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I don't drop that many F-bombs on social media like that.
That was not F-bombs, by the way.
JB a renegade.
I thought I saw a couple of them.
Oh yes, yes, I seen a couple of F-bombs fly in the air, bro.
So,
Hey man, I have to say the right thing right now because Twitter throw me back in the slime.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Right. So you guys have been awesome as usual. Again, man. What's his name? Avery's Falcon. Falcon. Yes. He hit me up a couple weeks ago. It was like, "Yo, man, I want listen. The door's still open. The invitation's still good. I just need notice when if you decide you want to come on the show, you can always look. The door is open. We don't turn nobody away. If you want, just let me know early in the week, and then we can make it happen. But and that goes for everybody. Anybody else who want to be on the show too. Panthers got FSU. You've been with us for a while. If you want to roll with us, let us know. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. Y'all been awesome as always. And we will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Take it easy. Peace.
Come to the show.